Studio time check says it's 37 minutes gone past 6 a.m. Today, the 26th day in March of 2026. Good morning to you, dear listeners, and thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your patience. The show is starting off a bit late, but we say thank you very much due to one or two issues. Honestly, it rained overnight, so I'm not going to lie to myself. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for your patience and for staying put, for staying tuned this morning. It's a wonderful Thursday morning. Another day to rise and shine and fulfill the Lord's promises over your life. I hope you have plans to do that today, and you are totally welcome. This is Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your number one family radio in the whole of Oyo State. We're broadcasting live from Wells Broadcasting House, located along Alafin Avenue, Uliole State, Ibadan. That's what we're broadcasting live from this morning. Also, I'd like you to follow us across all our social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook right now, where we're broadcasting live at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. That's Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. We're broadcasting live right now, so you can watch us. Don't forget to drop your comments and, of course, share the video with your friends. Also follow us across our social media platforms like Instagram, X, TikTok at Wells Radio 893, and listen live via our website www.wellsradio893.com. All right, my name is Bolanle Udueku Ayola. This morning, the show is Perspectives Unlimited, where we take a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. We take a look at the stories. We have in-depth discussion and analysis. And of course, we also like to hear from you when we open the phone lines, so that you can also give your opinions, comments, perspectives on these issues that we bring up on the show. So once again, I welcome you. And I say thank you so much for joining us. Without further ado, we'll go to the front page of the dailies we have. And the front page of the Punch newspaper says PDP factions open peace talks as Wike denies split. The rider says warring PDP blocs move towards truce, promise to withdraw court cases. BOT sets up high-powered panel to engage aggrieved members. No faction in PDP, insists Wike ahead of convention. Turaki-led NWC says ice broken. That story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. More headlines. Akume Alia Field pushes Benue APC to breaking point. That's on page 3. APC set stage for Saturday convention with zonal elections. That story is on page 7. Court upholds $13 million forfeiture tied to Achimugu. That's on page 18. US-Iran war. Federal government opens fuel imports. Dangote reels from FX losses. That's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. More headlines. Kebbi attack. Gunmen killed 10 security officers. You find that on page 18. UK leads as Nigeria's capital importation hits $6.4 billion. That's on page 19. And finally, 24-year-old Nigerian jailed for life in the UK. That's on page 5 of the Punch newspaper this morning. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, PDP crisis, Turaki Wike group's softened stance. We have broken the ice, says Turaki. Convention won't prevent reconciliation, says Wike. That's on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. More headlines. Consumer products must be labeled in English. FCCPC warns manufacturers. That's on page 5. Court orders final forfeiture of $1.3 million linked to Achimugu's company to federal government. That's on page 2. Court nullifies CBN's Union Bank takeover. Orders reinstatement of former board. That's on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. More headlines. NBA condemns Showore over misuse of courtroom. That's on page 25. Court shifts and refines $1 billion rights suit against ICPC, IGP, and others. That's on page 4. Federal government defends OPL 245 settlement, accuses critics of misrepresentation. That's on page 2. ADC World Congresses hold April 7, Convention April 14, that's on page 3. And finally, rise in fuel prices, petrol and federal government to alleviate hardship of Nigerians. You found that story on page 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. More headlines on the front page of the Daily Trust. 11 soldiers, police officers killed in Kebbi ambush. That's on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. Continued on page 3. Many feared dead as pit collapses in Kano. You found that story on page 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Misinformation, distrust, discouraging youths from voting, says Amukbeton. You find that on page 10 of the Daily Trust newspaper. 2027, Congress is clear coast for Tinubu. That's on page 4. 3 killed as violence erupts in Nasarawa community. You find that on page 5. After 8 children, women give birth to quintuplets. That's on page 6. And finally, court orders final forfeiture of $13 million linked to Achimugu's firm. That's on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. These and many more, as much as time permits us, we'll be discussing on Perspectives Unlimited this morning. I'll bring in our analyst at this point, Mr. Olawole Konsani. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you, madam.
How do you do?
I'm fine. How about you?
Honestly, I feel like I should still be in bed. The rain, the rain was really refreshing. I'm sure that many other people will agree with me that the rain was really, really refreshing. And is this the start of the rainy season?
Not really. Not really.
I know that several agencies have warned farmers not to rush to go and plant, their seeds. Otherwise, it will get killed off by the heat or heavy rainfall. All right. Let's get to some of the headlines on the front pages of the daily. So we're going to have to start with party politics this morning, because that seems to be all the rave on all the dailies this morning. Party politics. Now, we'll start with the PDP. We'll move to the APC and then to the ADC. On the front page of the Punch newspaper, this headline says PDP factions open peace talks as Wike denies split. The two People's Democratic Party factions have restarted the faltering peace process ahead of the March 29 to 30, 2026 National Convention being championed by the bloc led by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. The bloc headed by Tanimo Turaki SAN and supported by the party governors confirmed on Wednesday that a fresh reconciliation process aimed at uniting aggrieved factions within the party had commenced. Turaki, who disclosed this while addressing newsmen in Abuja, explained that the reconciliation, which was kick-started on Tuesday night, is yielding some results. So this is quoting him. He said, in obedience to the advisory of the Court of Appeal, Ibadan, a few weeks ago, that parties in the suit should explore reconciliation to save the party from further strife and provide a platform for aspirants to seek elective offices in the coming elections. The Board of Trustees of the party, ably led by His Excellency Senator Adolphus Wabara, constituted a high-powered committee to interface with our estranged party members with a view to resolving outstanding issues and repositioning the party for the elections. In furtherance of this, the National Working Committee immediately issued a notice postponing the National Executive Committee and National Caucus meetings earlier scheduled to be held 2 days later as a demonstration of good faith. We also de-escalated combative communication on all fronts. He said, while we expect a reciprocal gesture, what we have witnessed instead is the weaponization of hurtful rhetoric and the issuance of derogatory statements. He said that I can unequivocally confirm that as of today, leaders on both sides have broken the ice and are exploring various pathways towards a lasting resolution. We urge our supporters across the board to immediately de-escalate high-tempered communications and actions so as not to jeopardize the ongoing peace efforts. To all our aspirants who have stood with us thus far, we assure you that by the grace of God, our party will field candidates for all elective offices in compliance with Article 6, Sub 2 of the Constitution of the PDP as amended in 2017. And that came from the voted leader in the Ibadan Congress, Temitope. Well, we have to start clarifying Temitope. But we've apparently also heard from the FCT minister, who spoke with journalists in Abuja yesterday, and he said that there were no reports of a split. The reports of a split within the PDP are not correct, saying that the party remains united as it prepares for its national Congress. He said, and I quote, "We have only one PDP, no faction. I don't know which camp you're talking about. There is only one PDP. Some individuals may not be happy, yes, but there is no faction. That there is a convention does not mean there will be no reconciliation. Everything has its own time." They say in life, body language is very important. As we gradually grow and become adults, you sometimes tell a person who is ready to go to war by the body language. You also tell a person who is ready for peace by their body language. Now, given all that has happened, Mr. Sani, do you truly believe that the PDP is going to go through with this reconciliation process?
Thank you very much, madam. I do not see anything that looks like reconciliation here, because the motive of these two groups, the motives of these two groups are distinctly different. One is ensuring that the incumbent administration at the federal level remains in office, while it's the idea of the other that the guy at the top right now should be shoved aside. How do you marry those two wildly different ideas? It's not possible. I do not believe in his political pedigree.
Who?
But, I'm coming there. The governor of your state, he said it not too long ago that anybody who is romancing Wike right now has given in to the idea of keeping Bola Ahmed Tinubu in office beyond May 29, 2027. And that's, in fact, that's the only thing I can attach to his name, in the name of politics, that I agree with. That makes sense to me. So if Tanimu Turaki, if Bala Mohammed, as far as I'm concerned, is a Tinubu guy, if Sheyi Makinde and his likes are not giving in to the idea of keeping Bola Ahmed Tinubu in office, the only logical thing to do at this particular point in time is to jump out of that ship. And that is why a lot of people don't even trust him. I understand that he is talking
asking why he has not left the PDP
Yes, I understand that he is talking to some opposition politicians. They doubt his sincerity. Some are even saying that, are we even sure there is a fight? Are we not? How can we say that? How sure are we that it's not a case of theatrics to make us believe that there is conflict within their camp, when in reality all what they are trying to do is G5 2.0 by keeping Bola Ahmed Tinubu in office. The other time they said they were fighting for southern Nigeria, which I knew was a ruse. Now it's like we are fighting for the soul of the PDP. But the truth of the matter is that the PDP cannot function against Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
You said that, the Wike faction, even though Mr. Wike has said that there is no faction, but those of us watching the movie right now.
The truth of the matter is that there is no faction in the PDP right now. There is no faction. Tanimu Turaki, if he doesn't want to run foul of the law, cannot call himself the chairman of the party, because the Court of Appeal has said clearly that you are not the chairman of the party, that Abdul Rahman Mohammed is the chairman of the party. So in all seriousness, there is no faction in the PDP. It's just one PDP belonging to Wike, and it's the PDP that has pledged allegiance to the APC. Now they say it's Rainbow Coalition.
The reason, well, I haven't heard about that. That's interesting. The reason behind the initial split, at least the one we saw publicly, was that the reason the Wike, the Abdurrahman side of the PDP had said that, had gone to court based on the convention that was held in Ibadan. That was before it was even held. The reason they had dragged them to court was that they said that state congresses had not been held in several southeastern states. Now, that same part of the PDP is about to hold its convention. have these state congresses been held?
They have been held. They have done that of Oyo. They have done that of Ondo, and a lot of states in Ekiti, in the southeast, in what's it called, in the south, almost everywhere. They have done it. I can remember I told you in this studio, the VK faction of the PDP seems to understand the law and, of course, politics more than the other side. I can remember I told you. They are ticking the boxes at the right time. They are not jumping any step. They know exactly what they are. They are far more calculative than the other party, than the other side. And I told you, even before the Court of Appeal said that, okay, this is our judgment, I told you that I would be shocked should the VK camp not get victory. I mean, and it happened. A lot of people will say, oh, the judiciary has been bought. I will not be the one to speak for the judiciary. But on this particular matter, they didn't have any other option than to do what they have done.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We'll move on to the APC, where I did see this headline yesterday. The headline on the front page of the dailies this morning regarding the APC is a bit different, but I'll merge them because I want us to start from that part. Now, yesterday there was this headline that said, "Convention APC to elect national leaders by consensus." Now, it said the APC has confirmed that it plans to adopt a consensus approach for selecting its national leadership during the party's convention scheduled for March 27 to 28 in Abuja, said the Assistant Secretary for Media and Publicity for the APC Convention 2026, Mary Koko, disclosed the plan during an interview on a TV station. She said the party had not yet decided on how the issue of elective positions during primaries will be handled, noting that the decision may vary depending on local politics dynamics. She said, APC for this convention, I am aware and can say that the party is adopting consensus for this convention. As to whether they are adopting consensus for elective positions, I do not have an answer to that because politics is local. That's what she had to say. And what does consensus mean?
Thank you very much. Consensus is an arrangement where all intending contenders, or should I say contenders, agree within themselves to say, okay, most of us, in fact, all of us but one, are not contesting anymore. We have decided that this person that is going to represent the party at the polls, we are not contesting this person's candidacy. And sometimes
is that the best? Is that the best way?
No, the question should be: is it democratic?
Yeah, that's what is that the best? Is it?
In my opinion, it speaks against what democracy stands for.
In the last, in the lead up to the last elections, when they also held this convention in Abuja, we recall that there were many contenders. There were so many contenders. There were so many allegations of dollars being shared. Yes. You know, and things like that. I
remember a particular guy wanted to become youth leader. They had to compel him to not to contest. In fact, when he came to say that he was no longer contesting, he was saying it in tears. I mean, tears rolling down his eyes.
And that's and isn't that, you know, that's the joy and gains of democracy. What? And so why in your point of view is the APC towing this consensus? Like we've seen in the lead up to this convention, all through the early this year from January till March, in several states, we have seen the APC train go from state to state, touring all local governments to say that let's stop infighting for now. At least in your state, let's stop infighting within the party, the states and local governments. What we want now is President Tinubu for a second term. Was all of that the follow-up to this?
Of course. They know exactly what they are doing. And my personal...
And does it really mean that there's nobody in the APC that wants to become president?
There are a lot of people. As far as I'm concerned, I don't do my things based on parties. I do individuals. I know a couple of individuals that are far more competent than the current president, but minding the way they do their thing in that political party, and that's one of the reasons I'm not a fan of that political party. They seem to be afraid of elections. They have very, very afraid of elections.
So are you saying that they're probably adopting this consensus method to say, let's stick with the person that we're sure that is going to win?
That's not the case. for me, it's a case of Baba Sokbe. It is a case of this is the person that I, as a leader of the party, have anointed. And I do not want
So they take all the instructions from the leader?
Yes, they don't want anybody to test their strength on the field. Such that...
So they rather field their strongest candidate?
Not strongest candidate, the most loyal candidate to Baba Sokbe. And that is very, very dangerous. Because you won't be allowing internal democracy to grow. And if internal democracy is not growing in your party, you won't even know who is credible enough for elections.
What are the disadvantages of stifling internal party democracy?
Number one, resentment. People are going to stay in that party, but they will not put their soul in that party. Their body is there, but their soul is not there. They may not come out openly because they know that you have instrumentality of power within your reach. So they won't say, oh, we are going nuclear, we are going amok. They may not say that, but on the day of election, they will frustrate you. Some may actually leave the party.
Some may work against the party.
Some may work against the party. Like some may leave in physical, I'm talking about a physical context. They may leave the party totally to go to another party, even if they are not contesting, just to tell you that they are not happy with what they are. Like I understand.
I believe that has started happening. I did see news of some.
Yes, people are now leaving the APC. The gubernatorial candidate of the party in Kano, Gahuna, I understand that he has actually switched off all his phones. He wants to join another political party. I learned that the president has been on his neck to say, don't go. And the guy literally ghosted the president. These are the things you are going to see. Had it been a case of, okay, everybody go to the field, go and test your mettle, go and prove yourself. Anybody who wins is a reflection of what the people want. And that is even going to help you on the day of general election because you have tested that person's strength. It wasn't ghosts who voted
tested their popularity among their peers.
It wasn't ghosts who voted for that person when they were doing primary. Now the people who voted during primary
will also work to
and they will even bring in more people on board the idea. But if it's the case of Baba Sokbe, God help you.
Are there any advantages to Baba Sokbe?
There is none.
All right, we'll take a short break now.
It's an evil idea.
We'll take a short break now on Perspectives Unlimited. When we come back, more stories for us to talk about. Don't go anywhere.
FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Do you want to eat and stay healthy? Are you looking for healthy, high-quality chickens? Do you desire to start your own poultry farm? SMC Foods is your reliable plug for your healthy chickens. We specialize in the sales of premium and healthy chickens and poultry produce. We offer consultation services for your poultry farm setups. We are located at Oluyole Extension, Olusoji, Ibadan. To place your order or for enquiries, call Modupe on 0813-970-3731. At SMC Foods, we are reliable, tested, and trusted.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour. I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data. Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service. One Data? Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811-223-2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website, websites www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817 665 7060, 0707 338 4828, SEC 0209 462 1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Ayo on 0706 840-7359. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, you're welcome back. Studio time check says it's 6 minutes gone past 7 a.m. It's still Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We're back from the break, and it's time for us to talk about more stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. Before the break, we did talk about the APC consensus method that they want to adopt, and analyst has concluded that it's not a method that augurs well for internal party democracy. We'll look on and see. I mean, it's just tomorrow. So we'll look on and see what is going to happen, how it's going to, go on. And just as our analyst has said, we may see a spate of what do we call it now? People leaving, especially if they're sure at this point that they can no longer achieve their ambitions, that they probably don't have a fighting chance of achieving their ambitions, because that's it. Democracy gives you a fighting chance, but if you then don't have a fighting chance anymore, you may have to realign. Now, the FCCPC has, that's the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, has expressed concerns over the prevalence of unsafe and substandard products in Nigerian markets. They warned that this trend is eroding customer trust and undermining the country's economic integrity. Mr. Sani, I've seen so many Facebook posts of people saying, "No, I bought this one, and I didn't even know it was fake until I bought this one. I bought this one, and then I realized that the designs were slightly different. I realized that this and this and that." Don't we have an organization in Nigeria that is responsible for things like this?
Man, the problem is even far more complex than what you are painting. It's not just about knockoffs, fake here. Even companies with patency, with everything, are now coming up with substandard products. That is it. For those who take soft drinks, I don't know how, I have the capacity, I think I have the ability to do that. Should I put something in my mouth? I think I have a hard disk in my head that will process what is going through down my throat with what used to go down my throat in the past.
We'll all agree that the qualities have dropped. The quality has
very
dropped.
Badly, very, very sharply. And that is what you see when the cost of input is higher than common sense can permit. That is just it. Everybody wants to cut corners. Let me just stay afloat. And if you are producing a particular product and the people do not have enough resources to buy it at the rate that you would like to sell, if you want to actually add all the inputs and all of that, then you just have to remove one or two things or substitute.
So you either reduce the quantity or reduce the quality. And Nigerian companies are choosing to go
the two. They're actually doing the two.
The two.
Yes. If it's, I don't know, bring out a bottle of maybe plastic or bottled drinks. Look at where the content is today. Rewind your mind back to where it used to be.
Some have even reduced their bottles.
That is the point. Trust me, I'm not canvassing for sharp practices, but the truth of the matter is that if interest rate is, and I learned that banks are now lending money out to manufacturers at a 60% interest rate.
I read that, well, this speculation, but I read that many small and medium business owners are even now refusing to take loans from banks, and banks are begging them to take loans.
How can they take loans? Taking a loan right now is as good as putting a knife on your throat. And for these big companies, they won't want to go off the radar. So they would naturally do anything and everything they have to do. If we want to see a change, the federal government through the CBN needs to bring the rate of interest to something that common sense can understand. They need to drop the price of energy. You need to find a way that they award more contracts to various companies so that there will be money in circulation. If you do that, everybody is going to adjust, because should you fail to adjust, others are going to adjust and they're going to take the share of the market from you. So it's like that. But if it's still a case of, reforms that are actually killing Nigerians, we never even start. And it's unfortunate, because right now people are just dropping dead. People are falling sick.
And there's a prevalence of more health issues.
Blood pressure. People are just, instead of using natural additives, companies are now using sugar.
They're not even using sugar. They're using shakari, which is probably even worse than sugar.
In fact, your knees are going to cry for help. Your central nervous system is not going to be as sharp as it used to be. These are the issues.
There was a certain chairman, I believe, of NAFDAC. Do we say chairman now? Director General of NAFDAC. We all know her name. She's late now. Who Nigerians have sworn that during her tenure, things were wonderful. Substandard drugs were unable to come into the country. Even the ones produced in the country, where, the producers were highly pressed to make quality, quality products, and that also Nigerians were highly sensitized and aware. the current NAFDAC we have and the level they're at, what do you think can be done to bring it back to what, at least what we had before? I say this because honestly, I say this as a concerned, individual. The other day, I saw that NAFDAC had said that they had recalled some medication. They had said Nigerians should not buy some medication. For people who have children, in case you're listening to the show this morning, NAFDAC has said that we should no longer use, how do I describe it, any malaria medication that you have to, mix with water, and then and you have to use over the course of several days. Mm-hmm. They say that according to research, it wouldn't work, at optimal capacity. So what we should buy now is this dispersible tablets, where you just take one tablet, probably put it in water, take it, and then next time you're taking another tablet, or the ones in sachet that have like multiple sachets, but not those ones in bottles that you have to put water in, mix it, and leave it like that, to use for days. Now, this pieces of information rarely get to the people that it needs to get to.
And that is because the NOA has been sleeping. The NOA has been politicized. In my opinion, the NOA should be totally apolitical. But listen to the average advert or jingle from NOA. It's about support Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's about, student loan. It's about, NEL fund. It's about GDP is rising. That is not what should be the duty and function of the NOA. The NOA should be sensitizing people on things that will better their lives, better their lot, not on political jingles. But, what do you expect of an agency headed by somebody who was a National Working Committee member of the APC? Someone who is planning to contest on that platform of the APC to become governor of Kwara State. It's a complex problem. We have politicized everything. And
so this complex problem, so we have to start from the NOA.
NOA can help. Now NAFDAC has done something beautiful.
Let's take a call. I just realized I didn't read out the numbers, but let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you, madam. Hello.
Yeah, this is Adirunke from.
You're welcome, Adirunke. Please go ahead. All right, we lost that call. Do well to call us back. The phone lines are open. Apologies. The phone lines are open. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-3333-893. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
All right, we can hear you. You're welcome back.
Yeah, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my name is Salon. I'm calling from Washington. Good morning, Mr. Sonny.
Morning, sir.
My brother. Well done, sir. Is it Mr. Sonny? Thank you very much for your analysis on PDP. Is it for me? I just what appears like a reconciliation of peace in PDP is a truce. It's a ruse. It's a piece of the graveyard. Honestly speaking, it's a kind of, for me, I see it as a move to kind of to weaken the strength of ADC, because Wike already knows that the party is now in his hands. As a matter of fact, given the initial appeal court judgment nullifying the Ibadan Convention, has technically given the party to Wike. So the Turaki and Governor Shemakinde led faction is already out of PDP. Now, any of them now wishing to kind of move back to PDP has to agree with Wike's stance. That is just the fact. So, and you realize lately that Governor Shemakinde has been kind of realigning himself with some other opposition. Although no announcement yet, but the governor has promised that by April 12th that the platform will be announced. But and I can assure you for now, Governor Shemakinde is working alone as far as PDP is concerned. Turaki and Bala Mohammed, they have paid their thanks with Wike. So anybody you now see in PDP today must have agreed to Wike's bid to kind of accept whatever, because immediately after the Ibadan, immediately after the immediately after the appeal court judgment, Wike said the first statement Wike made was that Wike led that his group will negotiate from the position of strength. I don't understand. So it's like they have the strength. In fact, the party is in their hand. So for me, people should not even change their mind on which opposition to look up to. For me, I'm not a party person, but what I can say is that the only true opposition Nigeria can say we have today is ADC. Honestly speaking, Wike is already, of course, by his body language, by whatever, he has already declared where he's going in 2027. There was the sense of an opposition party when you are even clamoring, beating drums, supporting the existing, the ruling party, the ruling opposition party. I'm not against President Tinubu, but honestly speaking, I'm a lover of democracy for Nigeria, for democracy to survive, to thrive in Nigeria. But giving Wike's a stand, honestly speaking, is anti-democratic, and he has proved that to anybody who cares to reason. To reason. So that is just it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salami. All right, that's a very detailed analysis. 0916893100, 0915333489 and 0911333389. Let's move away from party politics quickly. Now, the chairman of INEC, Professor Joash Amukpeton, has said that misinformation, distrust in the electoral process, and low civic awareness are major drivers of voter apathy among young Nigerians. I'll ask you, Mr. Sani, since, I don't know about you, I agree with his submissions. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Aderonke from Muslim.
You're welcome, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yes. Concerning PDP reconciliation, it's good to know the party is making moves to settle their internal crisis. But I just hope that they will be serious this time around, not that they are just deceiving Nigerians. So they should make every possible means to make sure they put an end to all these crises they are facing in their party. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Now, I agree with Professor Amukpeton that, one of the things causing voter apathy, especially in the youth, is that they don't trust the process. But do you think, or do you know anything that the current INEC chairman has done since he became INEC chairman to, change these things?
Yes, I know of one thing that he has done to change this thing, but for the worse. And that's the Abuja election. A lot of people may not know. They feel like, once it's local government election, then, it must be state run and stuff like that. But for the FCT, it is conducted by INEC, headed by the national chairman of INEC. So it was Amukpeton who conducted the LG elections in Abuja, and it failed woefully. Woefully, it was a terrible performance for him. And owing to his conduct of that election, a lot of people may say that, of what use is it for me to come out on the day of election? And in all seriousness, Amukpeton should be somebody talking to a judge right now. He should be docked for what happened in Abuja. A lot of polling units out of voting, a lot of irregularities, a lot of things that shouldn't have happened. We were in a stage where people were saying that, elections are not. I know elections count. If the turnout is massive, if the handwriting is boldly written on the wall, politicians are most certainly going to respect themselves because they don't have what it takes to face the wrath of the people. But, these are things they usually do to keep people from voting. And when people don't come out to vote in large numbers, INEC has a way of doing
It's
that.
easy to manipulate it.
It's easy to manipulate at a particular point in time. What we are saying is this: low voter awareness. I'm not sure of the fact that there's anybody who doesn't know that there is election. There are elections in Nigeria next year, so that is not valid. Misinformation. In every election, there is going to be misinformation. It is your duty as the chair of INEC to put out right information. And distrust. Who exactly is to hold responsible for distrust in the process, if not the guy mixing all the elixirs? You are the chairman of INEC. You should be the one to say, okay, this is how I want to do my thing. And at every opportunity that you have, you must send out the right signal. He sent the wrongest signal out in Abuja. So if there is distrust, then it's because of what he has done. He still has a couple of months before the general elections. His utterances can still help, not just utterances towards the people. I mean, utterances towards politicians. Any party that is not in, irrespective, if you are just backing and shouting at opposition parties, nobody's going to take you responsible. Nobody's going to take you seriously. But if you can say or do things that will make the ruling party say that, are we not, is it not the president that appointed this guy? Then Nigerians may at that point believe in what you are saying. So everything is in his hands.
All right. And just yesterday in Kebbi State, 11 soldiers and a police officer have now been reported to have been killed in an ambush by gunmen in Giromasa community, Shanga local government area of Kebbi State. They say the attack occurred on Tuesday night when these security operatives believed to have been operating in the area for some time traced the gunmen to a construction company yard. It was learned that the soldiers were dispatched to secure the site but were ambushed along the way. Now, the police officer and the soldiers lost their lives in the attack, and 2 military trucks were set on fire. The Kebbi State Governor Nasser Idris visited the accident and emergency unit of the FCTA, Federal City Hospital being in Kebbi, where the victims were admitted. And the governor has described the incident as unfortunate and barbaric. I want to link this to something I heard yesterday, where, you know, there's a current police recruitment ongoing. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, the beautiful radio woman.
Good morning, Mr. Murray. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary, calling from my father.
You're welcome, sir.
It's so sad that we have to lose our gallant soldiers that way, because I listened to the report yesterday and I was not so happy. What's going to be the aspect of the family of those slain soldiers? And I learned in the course of the week as well, there are some soldiers, I don't know how to do this, there are some soldiers that they rebuild from the battlefield in Borno State because they were out of ammunition, and they have to withdraw because they cannot allow the enemies to take their life just like that. And this is some of those soldiers, they cannot speak out because it is not in their whatever to come out and tell if they are sort of ammunition or whatever. Like a soldier did a video some weeks ago that politicians got to send their children to join the armed forces, and the guy was dismissed just like that. I think our soldiers should be duly equipped. And lastly, those soldiers should be given, they should be using drones. The drone should go ahead of them so that the drone will read if there is enemy ahead of them. There will be a signal when they are approaching this area. They need to position themselves and fire. But we don't have thought. That is why the reason why we are having every casualty on the side of those soldiers. So the point is, let our government be proactive and give those soldiers much more effective ammunition so that they can face these bandits. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mario. As we gradually wind down the show, I read a story just now. Yes, now there's an ongoing police recruitment, and in Oyo State here, the person in charge, I can't recall his name, had said while speaking to journalists that the recruitment is ongoing and that the turnout is very low. He said, and I quote, in the north, they start at 9 and they go till evening. But here is 2 p.m. and we're already done for the day. You know, tell people to come out and, come out and apply as constable. You know, it's a very good way to start your career in the Nigeria Police Force. And, you know, I was not alone there. And the person next to me said, it was in Yoruba. The person said, the same police force that we're always hearing that policemen, died somewhere. Some people are protesting for their pension. Some are living in a bad state, and all of that. Same for the military as well. We've heard that there's been very low turnout from the southwest, from the southeast. It's only the north that has seen, a high level of turnout. Why? Well, I've said some of the things I think are causing this, but is this a trend we're going to see that to continue in just a minute? Yeah. We can't take any more calls.
Thank you very much, madam. Let me start with what happened in Kebbi. I mean, it was devastating when I heard about that thing yesterday. 12 families are now not going to see probably their breadwinners anymore. I mean, it shouldn't be. And yes, there is now the issue of ammunition shortage. It has not happened genuinely until very recently. Nigeria is spending way more money on, should I say, security and insecurity, and yet things as cheap as bullets are not in the guns of our soldiers. Where is that money? I've been saying it, this thing has been industrialized. We are pumping in more money with little results to show for it. Anybody with half a brain should know that money is going in the wrong direction. Let's not say something as regards recruitment. Joining the police or army or whatever right now is a very good way to sign your death warrant, because you are going to a place where, number one, there is no morale. Not that it is low, it's zero morale. I was driving around the Yagonku the other day and I saw the barracks and I was like, seriously? People who are in prison shouldn't be living here, and these are police officers who want to fight crime. It's never going to work. The pay is terrible.
Welfare.
But I heard about, something happened not too long ago, and they were saying, okay, they are going to assist their families with stuffs and it was 300,000 naira for one person. And I was like, are you guys crazy?
Dear Nigerian government, the federal government of Nigeria, you need to incentivize, people to join the forces, increase their welfare packages, ensure that they're well taken care of and all the things they need are given to them. That's how we wrap it up on the show this morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Sani. Thank you to those who dropped their comments on Facebook. I'm sorry we can't read them, but thank you so much. And thanks to those who called us. Perspectives Unlimited will continue tomorrow at exactly 6:30 a.m. My name is Bolanle Oduekun Ayola. I say good morning to you and God bless you. Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.